Right. No more excuses. For the last 6 months, I have been making monthly TBRs and maybe reading one of them, maybe reading 2 of them, some months not reading any of them at all. This insanity cannot continue. So that means that in the month of June, I, come hell or high water, will be reading all 3 books that I have picked for my June TBR. If you're wondering what those books are, the first, Don't Try to Find Me by Holly Brown. I've already started. I don't want to brag. The second, Meet Me in Bombay by Jenny Ashcroft. I've already started. Do I remember when I started this book? No, I don't. So I'll be going back to the beginning on this one. And the third is I Who Have Never Known Men by Jacqueline Hartman. So we have 3 very different books for the month of June. And I'm going to be starting, because I've already started, with Don't Try to Find Me by Holly. I was about to say Holly Jackson. It's not Holly Jackson. It's Holly Brown. So Don't Try to Find Me is a book about a girl called Molly who goes missing and her parents who try to find her. The day that she leaves a note on her family's fridge that says, "Don't try to find me. I'll be okay. I'll be better. I love you." So this video is just going to be me reading my TBR. I'm going to do this. Okay? I'm going to do this. So let's get stuck in, shall we? So I'm now 100 pages into Don't Try to Find Me by Holly Brown. This is like a mother's worst nightmare. I'm not a mom, but I would be in pieces, and it's just so frustrating because this sort of thing happens all the time. So we are now on day 8 of Molly's disappearance, and it's slowly becoming clear what has happened and why she's disappeared. And it's just like so heart-wrenching. And obviously I can't say because I think it's a pretty big spoiler. Like, it's a pretty big sort of reveal when you find out like why she left, and you're just sort of like, are you joking? Are you joking? I do really like the fact that Facebook plays such a large part in this plot, because this was written in what, like 2014, I think, and like Facebook was huge, and it's got like little like Facebook excerpts and stuff, which is a real throwback. So I have made a goal for myself to read for 1 hour today. So we're gonna see if I can get there, or even if I do more. But I will check in when I have something else to say. And the Boons is right here, in case you're wondering, in her favorite spot. Apologies if you can hear the dishwasher and or the dog eating her dinner. This is just the life we lead. Also, I feel as if I talk to you all right after I've showered. So I just constantly look like a drowned rat in this towel that really doesn't do anything for me, you know? But at least you know I smell good, because I'm always clean. I digress. Let's do a little catch up. So the last time I talked to you all, I was on page 100 of Don't Try to Find Me by Holly Brown. I am now on page 310. I am sorry. I'm sorry that I did not update you more. I'm reading vlogs anew for me, okay? So here's what I will say about Don't Try to Find Me by Holly Brown. I would say that this is definitely more character driven than plot driven. I'm not gonna say it's slow, because I'm still like, come on, like, let's figure this out. But this isn't like a nail biter. Although I will say, if you have triggers to do with abuse, make sure that you look this book up before you read it, because I could see how this could be triggering for some people. But I'm enjoying it. Like, it's good. I've wanted to pick it up because I just want to find out like what happens with the daughter, what happens with the parents. Is there going to be a reconciliation? I don't know. I don't know how that can happen because this is just like so scary. This really is like a mother's worst nightmare, a parent's worst nightmare. And I just don't know how this story is going to have a happy ending. And I really want it to have a happy ending. This author is, I think, a marriage and family therapist. So I'm assuming that she has some sort of like psychology training, and you can tell because there is a character in this book who is a psychiatrist, and just the way that they talk about things, I'm convinced, you know, I understand. So I'm enjoying this. I'm enjoying this book a lot, and I'm hoping to finish it tonight. I don't know, maybe I'm asking for too much, but I'm hoping to finish it tonight. I think there's not that many pages left. Oh my goodness, I'm like 40 pages away from the ending, so I can for sure finish this. And then I had a wonderful discovery. One of the other books on my TBR is Meet Me in Bombay by Jenny Ashcroft. I found the audiobook on Libby. So I'm already 17% of the way in because I've just been doing it like while making dinner or while taking the dog on a WALK. It's right over there. I can't say the word. And this has been good. I've started listening to audiobooks faster than like one point speed. I'm on like 1.75 and that feels good. I don't know how people can do like 2.5. That I don't think my brain would compute anything that fast. And maybe, I'm not making any promises, but maybe I will try like an immersive reading experience because I've never done that. And I don't often have a book that I both own and have the audiobook of because the timing just never lines up. But this was available, so I was like, let's flip and go. Yeah, so I'm really enjoying this so far. This follows Luke and Madeline, and they are just meeting. They are just starting to exchange letters. That's where I'm at. I'm only 17% of the way through. I don't even know like how far that is or whatever. But like we haven't really had like a confession of love yet, you know, but we'll get there. The cool thing about this book is we have two different timelines. It jumps back and forth in time from before the war to sometime after the war. We don't know when after the war. And we get both Madeline's perspective and Luke's perspective. But is it in first person? No, it's in third person. So it's not like we're in their heads, but it does follow both characters separately at two different points in time, which I really like. Yeah, so I think my plan for the rest of the evening is I'm going to finish Don't Try to Find Me, and then I'm going to put in my audiobook and work on my reading journal while listening to Meet Me in Bombay. I just totally blanked on the name of this. I'm not doing well at this whole booktuber thing right now. I'm just forgetting names, forgetting to update, and now I'm almost done a book. So apologies for this one, but honestly, like there wasn't a lot that I could update you on because it was just sort of going back and forth between the parents and the daughter. One other thing I will say about Don't Try to Find Me is we get POVs from the mother and from the daughter, which has been nice. Although I do wish that we had a POV from the dad. I think, not a lot. I'm not asking for a lot. I'm not asking for like 20 chapters from the dad's POV, but I would have liked to get a little bit more inside the dad's head. But I do understand that this is more of a story between a mother and a daughter. But I feel as if the dad plays such an important role in this story that we're sort of missing out. But that's just me, you know? I'm not an author. I don't know what I'm talking about. Yeah, so let's finish my first book of my May TBR, shall we? It's gonna happen. Guys, it's gonna happen. I don't want to speak too soon, but I'm gonna do this. Okay, it's only, I don't even know what date it is, but it's early in the month of June. So I'm determined, okay? Let's do this. Also, if you see the giant zit on my face, no you don't. No you don't. I'm aware. This little covered back porch that I have is becoming like my new favorite place. Obviously, I can't be outside for very long because I am as white as a sheet of paper and I will burn during a full moon. But here I can enjoy the nice breeze, I can look out with my favorite puppy dog and just like enjoy being outside without really being outside. Because the bathroom's like right there, you know what I mean? I like my creature comforts. Now let me give you a TBR update. I finished Don't Try to Find Me by Holly Brown, and it was really good. It was definitely more character driven than plot driven, but that was fine. And the ending was good. The ending was good. I was a little worried about how they were gonna end this, but I did really enjoy it. And I think I'm gonna land on like a 4-star for Don't Try to Find Me because I enjoyed it. It was a good time. And I did a couple times catch myself thinking about the book and wanting to pick it up to know what happens, and that's always a good sign. So I have officially finished one of my 3 TBR books for the month of June. I am on a roll. I'm on a roll already, and I am now, I think, about 35% of the way through Meet Me in Bombay by Jenny Ashcroft. I went on a lovely walk yesterday with my puppy dog and I just was listening to it and I'm struggling, and let me tell you why. Because I am trying, this is my first time trying to listen to an audiobook at a faster speed, and I do kind of struggle to get like the emotion of the characters when it's being read to me so fast. When I'm reading it in my head, I'm realizing that I think I'm a slower reader, and part of that is because I spend so much time trying to understand the emotions of the characters. So now that I'm listening to it at, I think I'm doing it at 1.75. Maybe I'm doing it at 2? No, I think I'm doing it at 1.75. It's so fast that I'm like not getting the inflections, not getting the pauses as much as I would if I was just listening to it at normal speed. But I have officially had my first "aw" moment. So I'm invested, I'm enjoying this, and I'm really liking that it's set in like a different country that I've never been to, and the vibrancy really comes through, and just Maddie's wonder at the world that she finds herself in is almost infectious. And now I'm sitting here being like, why am I not in India right now? You know what I mean? So really enjoying that, and I'm very much intrigued to know what happens, but I think this story is going to break my heart. I just have a sneaking suspicion that the story is going to break my heart, and I'm going to be so upset about it. But I have no idea how this book ends. I have no idea what's going to happen, but either way, I'm probably going to cry at the end of this book because I'm a helpless romantic and there's nothing I can do. Now I'm also reading I Who Have Never Known Men by Jacqueline Hartman, and I was bored. For the first, I want to say 30 to 40 pages, I was a little like, I don't know about this. But I'm now invested. I'm now invested. Things are happening. And it also just made me appreciate, like, if I'm bored reading about them being in a cage, I can't even imagine how boring it must have been to actually be in the cage. Because I was here and I'm just like, listen, like, this is getting too much. I'm slogging through this, but now we are getting somewhere, and I am invested. I am invested to find out what happens. I am now on page, what page am I on? 64. I'm on page 64, and there's 167 pages, I think, of this book. So we are not quite halfway through. I'd say a third of the way through, and I'm invested. I need to know what happens. Although I've heard other people's reviews of this book, and I don't know whether I'm going to be satisfied with the ending of this book. Did have a really lovely conversation with someone who runs one of the silent book clubs in my city, and we were just chatting books, and I said that this was like my next read, and she said, oh my goodness, the prose of this book is so beautiful, and this book made me so proud to be a woman. And I was like, that is such an amazing review. Like, anyone who wants to recommend me a book, if you say this book made me proud to be a woman, I'll be like, add to cart, done. Signed, sealed, delivered, let me read it right now. So I am going into this with different eyes than when I first picked this book, because if you'll remember from my TBR video, I was not amused that this was my only option, but I am having a change of heart and I'm keeping an open mind. So that's the update for right now. And I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this. This is happening, and I am really proud of myself and I'm having a lot of fun. I hope you're proud of me, because I'm proud of me for sticking this out and for doing this, and I'm actually having a lot of fun. What a time to be alive. So I'm gonna go and keep reading this, and I'll update you when I have more to say, I guess. Is there anything that you would like to say to the people? Riveting stuff. Thank you. We are making some great progress. A couple days ago, I finished I Who Have Never Known Men by Jacqueline Hartman. I had to take a couple days to digest, because this was a weird book. A bad book? No. A weird book? Yes. And I had to sit and really think about this book, because in terms of the writing, gorgeous. Gorgeous writing, just so well done. But in terms of like the story, it was so odd. I was so confused sometimes, and all I wanted was a resolution. All I wanted was some sort of explanation, and there wasn't one. But I do think that's the point. There is no logical explanation for cruelty and for things that just don't make any logical sense. There is no logical explanation for it. And while that can be frustrating and heart-wrenching, the beauty that comes out in this book is so just like gratifying. And I completely understood when the person that I was speaking to said that this book made them proud to be a woman, because the women in this book are so incredible, so well written. They are so strong, and just the humanity that they represent is something I have never read before. And I think this book will stay with me for a long time. Was it sad and in some ways depressing and in some ways heart-wrenching? Yes. But was it also like hopeful and beautiful? Like the depiction of love, of female platonic love, and learning what love is when you have no foundation or understanding for it. Oh my gosh, the more I'm thinking about it, the more my head is spinning. Oh, it's so good. It's so good. I highly, highly recommend this book. One thing I will say is I really struggle with books that don't have chapters or any sort of like breaks. There's no like line indicating like a passage of time or whatever. It's just a continuous prose. And I really struggle with that, because I'm the type of person who needs to get to the end of a chapter before I can stop. Like it really bugs me if I don't finish the chapter. So I'm getting better at that, but that is something that I found really difficult. However, after thinking about it, I did come to understand why that was the case. And I'm not going to explain why that was the case, because that's a bit of a spoiler and it's going to ruin things for you. But I understand. I understand why there's no breaks. Oh man. Oh man. It was so good. It was so good. How do I even rate this book? How do I rate this book? 4.75. It wasn't a 5-star because there was some times where I was just sort of like, what? But so well written, so well done. I will be thinking about this book for a long time, and considering that she's little, that's really impressive. I also really appreciated the afterword, which is in this one written by Sophie McIntosh, written in 2019. So this book was originally written, I want to say in 1995, and then reprinted recently with this afterword by Sophie McIntosh. And I highly recommend reading that afterword, because it really sort of like highlighted some things that I hadn't necessarily thought of while reading the book itself. I read this over a few days, like I want to say 4 days, because I needed to take it in stints. It's very intense and some of it's a little upsetting, so I did have to like just put it aside for a little bit, but highly recommend. 4.75. Yeah, what a great book. So that means that I have now finished 2 of the 3 books on my June TBR, and it is only, I don't know what date it is. What date is it? I think it's the 11th, the 10th or the 11th. We're not even halfway through the month, and I am already over 50% of the way through Meet Me in Bombay by Jenny Ashcroft. I have been listening to Meet Me in Bombay on audio through my Libby app. Such a good choice. I'm listening to it on 1.75 speed, which I think is the fastest that I can go. And I think before I finish this book, I would really like to attempt immersive reading. So probably later in this video, you will see me try that. I'm not overly convinced that it's going to enhance my reading experience, but I've never tried it. And you know what? Don't bash it till you try it. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna try it. But in terms of the actual book itself, oh gosh, I was walking the dog the other day. It was nighttime and it was just like the street lights, and I was listening to this book, and we got to the part where Alice, Maddie's mum, explains why she never went to visit Maddie when she lived in England and Alice and her father lived in Bombay. And it was absolutely heart-wrenching. And I was tearing up on this walk because it was just so like well written. And the relationship between Maddie and Alice is so impacted by the fact that Alice never went to go visit Maddie. And then when you understand why, you're just like heartbroken. You're heartbroken. And watching the relationship between Maddie and her mother grow and change is so gratifying, and it's so heartwarming. And it's such a juxtaposition to what is happening in the outside world, where the world is literally falling apart. World War I is in full swing, and men are dying in the thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands. But meanwhile, this like tender relationship is blossoming, and I just like, my heart couldn't take it. And things have now happened. I'm not gonna say anything, but like things with Luke have been happening, things with Maddie have been happening. They are obviously not together because Luke's off at war and she's not. My heart like can't handle this. I knew this book was gonna destroy me. I knew it. I said it would, and I was right because I'm struggling. But I'm also really, really enjoying it. The side characters are great. Jenny Ashcroft is really able to help you form emotional attachments to not only like the main 2 characters, but the side characters too. So I'm just listening to all of these names and the things that are happening to them, and I'm just like, my heart, ah! Can you tell that I'm not okay? I'm not okay. I'm fine. I need to take a breath. What a lineup I've had for the month of June so far. So this is the last one. And the last thing that I will say is I don't usually listen to audiobooks just like sitting, staring at a wall. Like I'm always doing something. I'm walking or I'm baking, doing something. I'm always doing something. I'm in motion, generally. But when I got back from that walk with the dog and we just had this beautiful but devastating realization and revelation for these characters, I laid on my bed and I listened for like 20 more minutes. I just laid there looking at the ceiling and just listened to this book. And I have never had that experience listening to an audiobook before. So this is like really special. And I don't know whether I'm just like in a great like heart position to be listening to this, but I'm gonna have to like take some time once I finish this book to like really reflect, because this is really good and I'm thoroughly enjoying it. I haven't read this at all like physically. I've only listened to this on audio. So I'm gonna try immersive reading, but this is such a good book. It's so good, emotionally devastating. I'm struggling. Like I'm okay. I'm not okay, but I'm okay. You know what I mean? So that's the update. I will be back when I have more to say about this book, and I will try immersive reading. But look at me go, not even halfway through the month and I'm almost on my TBR. I knew I could do it if I just like tunnel visioned, you know? And I couldn't let you guys down anymore. So here we are. This is the last one. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. Okay, let's finish my June TBR. All right. I am 80% of the way through Meet Me in Bombay by Jenny Ashcroft. I have listened exclusively on audio. I'm unwell. I'm actually not okay. I did not expect this book to be so emotional. And I don't know whether because I'm listening to it on audio, I am like out on more walks in nature, just trying to like be more introspective, more contemplative, I don't know. And that means I'm just more like in my emotions, in my feels. But I am like struggling. I am struggling. This book is like hitting me in my heart. It's pulling the heartstrings. Now, things have occurred. I'm not gonna tell you what's happened because obviously massive spoilers. But I am like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do because I want to know what happens, but I truly don't understand how we're going to resolve all of this. And either way, my heart's gonna get broken a little bit. And I don't know if emotionally I'm ready for that. So much is going on. We're still following Maddie and Luke like in separate POVs, in separate chapters. And oh my goodness, and something major has just occurred. Two things in quick succession. Two major things in quick succession have occurred. And I don't know how I'm going to cope with whatever the outcome is. I don't know. And I'm not okay. So I have like just under 3 hours left on the audiobook. And I think now is probably a good time to try some immersive reading where I'm listening, I'm reading at the same time. Because I own the book, but I've been listening to it on audio, which has been great, a lovely experience. But I think now that things are happening, I want to try. I feel like if I were to like immersive reading, it would be at this point, and I want to give it its best shot. Quick point about the book. I would say that this is very much a character-driven book. Plot points are like, yeah, sure, there's a world war going on, so it's not as if like nothing's happening, but it's very much character-driven. But Jenny Ashcroft has written these characters in such a way where I'm just sort of like, my heart is emotionally invested in these characters and all I want is the best for them, for everyone involved. So I'm emotionally invested now. Like I need to know what happens even though I know it's gonna break my heart and I am scared. So right now, the weather is gorgeous. It's like 21 degrees, there's a breeze. So I'm gonna go sit on the porch with my lovely doggo and I am going to try immersive reading for like 20 minutes. I'll give it a good old college try and see how it goes. So we're very close now. We are very close and I don't know what I'm gonna do when this is over. I don't know what I'm gonna do. Anyway, I'm fine. Maybe I'm not fine. So the next time I update you, I'll be done. I refuse to give any more updates. I refuse to delay this any longer because I will finish this TBR if it's the last thing I do. So let's do this. Let's do this. I'm pumped. I need to figure out where I am in the book. And then I'm gonna read. Come on. I don't even have the words to... I ignored all of my responsibilities and finished Meet Me in Bombay, and I'm not okay. I'm crying. Okay. Okay, I'm okay. Okay, I'm okay. Oh my gosh. This is what I get. My makeup is running. I'm not okay. Okay. That ending was so beautiful. And like the epilogue, I would have been fine if there'd been no epilogue. If there'd been no epilogue, I would have been okay. But that epilogue, I'm not okay. Okay. That was a really good book. That was really good. That the third act conflict was a lot. And I was getting a little frustrated with the characters and the choices that they were making. And the resolution of the third act conflict was a little sort of like, really? Seemed very quick, but I really did feel for the characters and everyone involved in the situation. And I can't tell you what it is because it's like it would be too big of a spoiler to tell you. But like, oh my goodness. The resolution was crazy. But the ending was so beautiful. It got me crying on the internet. This is too much. I'm okay. Wow. Okay. I had a feeling that would end me. And it did. Throughout this entire book, I was thinking about, if I was in that position, what would I do? Like, how would I feel? And even just like thinking about all of that happening with Matthew is like making me like tear up, because that's like a lot. And I just like, yeah, that really gets the heartstrings. And it was so well written. And every character I rooted for, every character who had any POV, I rooted for. And I feel like I know them. And all I wanted was what was best for every single one of them. And the ending, I need to take a breath. I was just expecting this book to be just like a fun little romance with a conflict about two young people who are in love who can't be together because of a war. You know, like the general, your regular schmegular historical romance. That was so much more than that. And that was so good. I don't know. I'm not making any sense. I can't cry anymore. This is too much. So with that, I did it. I read my June TBR. I read 3 books that I actually own, and I feel very accomplished. Has it ruined me emotionally? Will I take probably a day to just like recalibrate? Probably. But that was so good. Those 3 books together, actually, I would say all 3 books that I read were character driven and not plot driven. Don't Try to Find Me was very character driven, and that was like a mystery, like psychological mystery thing. And then I Who Have Never Known Men, definitely character driven, sci-fi, like dystopian, very odd, but like beautifully written and very thought-provoking, but definitely not like crazy plot twists or anything. It was very much focused on the main character and the women and their relationships to themselves and one another. And then this one was definitely more focused on the characters as well, and like the character of Maddie, the character of Luke, and those around them. So I've learned something about myself. Character-driven books make me feel things more intensely than I would say plot-based ones do. Plot-based ones like make my heart race because I'm just like, what's gonna happen? What's gonna happen? But character-driven books really make me like introspective and think about like how I would act in that situation, or make me think about my relationships with other people, my girlfriends, my husband, my family. Like, how do I interact with them? And what can I take from these stories to enrich these relationships? Because there's so much to be learned from the books that I've just read, and I do think I need to like digest a little bit. Man, I was not expecting to cry on the internet. I'm insane. Okay. So with that, I'm done. I did it. I am so proud of myself. I knew it could be done. I told you it could be done, and I did it. Now I'm going to read the library books that I have sitting that have been waiting because I prioritized this. I said I would, and I did. So don't say I never did nothing for you. All right? So with that, thank you so much for coming along on this journey with me. I am so proud of myself, but I also am so tired from all of the feelings. But wherever you are and whatever you're doing, I hope that your book is good and that you have unhinged opinions about it. And I will see you next week. Bye.